If you've been struggling with Armored Core 6, then these are the top 5 things you can do to make the game easier. Number 5. The first thing you should know is that you can replay missions. If you ever feel like you're stuck and you need some extra cash, replaying past missions is a great way to grind out extra currency. So I didn't realize this for the longest time, but I would just play through the game and I would get stuck at these roadblocks and I'd think, God, I don't have enough money for all the parts that I want. I wish you could go and grind out money some way. This is how you should do it. Go back, replay old missions. Find a mission you like, something you missed, something you want to do again or that you thought was really easy, and you could just replay it over and over and over again. Like this mission here. It's extremely easy. You load in, you break one of his legs, you go up, you kill a couple enemies along the brig, and then you take the machine down. This mission pays you $270,000. It's so easy. And look at this here, right as the thing finishes up. I get to pocket like $190,000. It's awesome. How can you beat that? Number 4. Fight in the arena. Most of these fights are really easy, and they pay you with currency, and you get these things called OST chips. These chips are really cool because you can use them to make things like your repair kits more efficient. You can reduce the amount of damage that your mech takes, and you can also get a whole bunch of new moves for your mech. So it's really worth doing. One of the game changers for me is I didn't realize that you could get chips and you could get a slot on your shoulders so that if you want to have a melee weapon up on your shoulder, you can hit the shoulder button and then it'll swap it down to your hand. So there's a lot of cool things you can unlock through this system. You should definitely go check it out. There's a lot in here. The fights are not that hard, and I've only came across like 2 or 3 battles that I had to do more than one time. And one of my favorite things from this is the expansion. I got an expansion that brings me back to life when I die. That's awesome. It saved me so many times. Number 3. Take time when you're doing missions. The more enemies you kill, the more currency you're going to get at the end of the mission. As you explore the maps, you're also going to find new crates to unlock weapons and mech parts. So just go slow and pay attention to your surroundings. Like look here, I just got that CC Wrecker 3000, right? It's awesome. You do have to actually beat the mission to keep the part, so just keep that in mind. But at the end of the mission, if you're not going to use that part, you could sell it to get some more money. But you could also just go and kill things along the way if you don't find parts. Like look at this. I'm getting 5,600 currency just for beating these guys. It's awesome. So when you're going through, that's one piece of advice I'd give you. Just go slow. Don't rush. Enjoy the ambiance and just fight your way through it and have fun. Number 2, try out new weapons. This is one of the things that held me back early on in the Baltius fight. If you run into trouble and your weapons are not effective against a certain enemy, change it up and try something new. So if you go into the sortie, you can test out your AC build, and it's really awesome. You can switch between all your weapons on the fly. You can try out different shoulders, different legs, if you want to see like, oh, okay, how does this booster affect my movement speed? How does this gun work in this situation? Can I use this to stun them and then that to get in and close the gap? Like, you can set the enemies however you want. If you want the AI on or off, or you just want to go in and mess around and try out some things, do that. Do it before you go into a mission. Why play through a whole mission just to quit out, change your loadout, and go back into it? That's what I did for so long with this game. Just go through and test out your AC. This is going to be the fastest way to see how your build is. Number 1. If all else fails, don't get scared off by hard bosses. For me, it was the Baltius fight that had me stuck for a few play sessions. I was starting to wonder if I was ever going to beat this guy. And then, finally, after getting past him, I was able to breeze through pretty much everything else. So when you come across a boss that gives you a hard time, pay attention to what's damaging you so you can learn how to handle it. You can use all the other tips I showed you in this video and kind of stack the deck in your favor, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to learn the boss mechanics. So listen to the audio cues that sound off during the fight. They're going to help guide you in the right direction. This is a great game, and it's a shame to think people are going to get turned away by the first couple skill checks. Use whatever advantage you have to beat these harder encounters. If you need to, go online, look up a build to help you beat a boss, and get past it. Because really, most of the fights in this game are not that bad. You have that little fight in the tutorial that's a little difficult, and then the Baltius fight early on is actually, I think it's still pretty hard. But if you switch out your weapons, you grind, get some money, Try out some new builds, see what works for you, and pay attention to what the boss is doing. You can do it, and you're really going to enjoy this game. So, until next time, I'll see you later. This video is brought to you by your support on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/GrouchyGus94 to help support the channel.